All right. Welcome in. How are y'all doing tonight? How are y'all doing? I will give people a moment to come in. I see someone is here with me on Facebook. Let me know in the comments that you're here. Say welcome in. How are y'all doing tonight? How are y'all doing? I will give people a moment and say hello. Yeah, we all on multiple devices. All right, so come on in. I'll just give you all just a few more moments. Just a few more moments. And I may ask y'all to pause just for a moment. Just give a couple more minutes for people to come on. So just stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. All right. I am back. Didn't take long for that commercial break, right? All righty. So let's get started. We're not going to be on here long tonight. Give or take 30 minutes. So I never keep y'all too long. So I'll just give people a few more moments to come in. I'll just tag a few people. Let's see. Hey, Latanya, how you doing, girl? How you doing? Just giving people a few more minutes to come on. But tonight's called Sis He's Not the Assignment, okay? He is not the assignment. And you can tag the crew too, girl. You can tag them in too. Let's see here. And then we will get started. I'll just tag a few people. Okay. Come on, Facebook. Oh, this thing don't want to let me tag nobody. Okay, here it is. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm coming, girl. You want somebody on here with you. It's gonna be a good one tonight. The phone don't want to tag nobody. You doing all right after last night? Well, yeah, today is no. Girl, my days is getting ahead of me, yeah. Because today is Tuesday. That's right, yeah, it's Tuesday. So it's been dang time is flying by fast. Time is flying by so fast. Let's see, Miss Shirley. I'll tag her. Miss Go Live. Miss Go Live. Tag Coach K. And then we're going to get started. Because everybody can tag the crew. Hey, Kira. Hey, cuz. How you doing, girl? How are you doing, honey? We are talking about tonight. Sis, he's not the assignment. Y'all share it out, tag folks. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Because y'all know time be ticking away and life be lifing, right? Life be lifing. But tonight, like I said, tonight's live is entitled Sis, He's Not the Assignment, okay? Sis, yeah, I'm doing good, Latanya. My imperfect opposite in case y'all don't know who I'm talking to. Well, I'm doing good. All right. And thank you so much for coming in with me. I appreciate it. But like I said, we're talking about tonight. Just remind people that Sis, he is not the assignment, okay? He is not the assignment. So I just want to, the objective of tonight is to help you to recognize when someone is not your purpose and empower you to move forward with clarity and with peace. Let's see what Kira said. There you go. See. All right. Hey, cuz yeah. All right, but I just want to make sure I acknowledge everyone. But again, like you said, you guys, welcome back to Heribet's Thoughts, where we reclaim our joy, our peace, our purpose, and I'm really glad that y'all are here, and continue to keep tuning in. So tonight we're going to briefly talk about something that many of us struggle with, and these allergies too is another struggle, but something that we all struggle with, or a lot of us may struggle with, realizing that he is that person in your life, and I could be talking to men and women on here, but I specifically more so talk to women. But just realizing that that person in your life, that he's not the assignment that God gave you, and that's okay. That is totally okay. That's really okay. Um, and I can share a quick example of talking about that. Basically, you can be with a person, be in a relationship, that guy that you've been chasing for months, or sometimes even years, right? Who always promises that he's going to change, but he never delivers on his promises, right? I know a lot of us have been there, right? A lot of us have been there. But you typically you tend to like rearrange your schedule, you sacrifice your peace to make things work. But every time he shows up is what? Drama, disappointment, excuses. A lot of excuses, right? And let me know y'all can hear me good too. Right, exactly. It's okay. It's okay. Exactly. It's okay. But yeah, and so but with that drama and that disappointment and those excuses, you've poured so much of your energy into someone who is not investing in you. And I'm here to tell y'all it's exhausting, okay? It is exhausting. It will wear you out. It will wear you out. But the truth is, he's not your assignment, or she. Right, them true color, girl, them true colors come out. I'm telling you for real. They will come out brighter than my hair, okay? And they will come out, they will nearly blind you sometimes, literally. They will, you'll be like, wait a minute, because I can tell you from, my book, a lot of y'all have read my book, Rose Wrapped in Thorns. Yeah, them true colors, they was hidden. I wear glasses, but I ain't blind. I can see without my glasses, y'all know, right? I can see without my glasses, but them true colors, oh my gosh, they came out in full force, like with the flamingo, all the the what they call the feathers, whatever. They flutter out and stuff. Oh my God, when them true colors, right? Exactly, you been there. Them true colors come out, they are like, it's like, wow, it really is. It's like, wow. And I was like, oh my God, like, Lord, come on, right. Yes, yes, exactly. And I was like, they really are cold and calculating. Like, they know they have a plan and they know exactly what they're doing and how to do it. I know I might have been a little naive, but I mean, my God, like, and I thank God for bringing me through that. But yeah, so, and I just want to share that little example with y'all. But yeah, them true colors come out. Get you some blinders, well, no, don't get you no blinders. Look at them and then keep it move. Go ahead and go about your business. Right, go ahead and go about your business. Once you see them true colors, go ahead and be about your business. But yeah, so like, we're gonna set the scene, like, picture this. Okay, picture this. You've been seeing this guy for months, right? For months, sometimes even years. Sometimes you can get strung along for a minute. But every time you make plans, you rearrange your schedule for him. You showing up, you give him your energy, like, and you hoping that he gonna meet you halfway, right? Right. Which is, yeah, but bring you down. But God brought us through. Right, God will bring us through. Exactly, Toya. He will bring us through, Latanya. But like, I'm like, oh my God. So it's like we go through all that, but then that's why I say you have to like kind of like just sit back and think for a minute. Okay, is this really what I'm supposed to be going through? Like, is this really what I'm settling for? And so that brings me to where we reveal the problem. We reveal the problem. So like every time that he shows up, I'm gonna ask you this. It's the same old story, right? Type same old story in there, y'all. If y'all can relate. If it's that same old story, that same drama, that same disappointment, same excuses, and nothing changes, right? And here's the kicker. He ain't even trying to grow. Like I can see if he was trying to grow, like he trying to, go back to school. He trying to get his education, or he trying to, to get a better job, or he trying to stay home more, spend more time. But sometimes they don't even be trying. They don't even be trying at all. Right? Same old story. Same old story. No changes at all. Now if you go through that for a while, it's time to cut out. I'm gonna Beyonce to the left. It's time to cut out. Really, like. And I know I could say for me, even like I said, a lot of y'all know I was married before I even got in that relationship, but you can go on and on and on and still continue to deal with the same stuff day in, day out, year after year after year. When it's draining you, it's literally draining you, but you stay in it. You stay in it. And you got to realize, okay, sis, he ain't even trying no more. He ain't trying no more at all. So why are you trying? Yeah, God tells us, you fight for your marriage, you work on it, you honor your marriage, you honor God, but you can't fight by yourself. You can't just grow by yourself. You can't be the only one trying to grow. Because ain't nobody perfect by a long shot, but you can't, right, it's exhausting. You can't be the only one that's trying to grow. If y'all not trying to grow together, then it's time to grow. You're growing apart. Basically, not time. If you cannot grow together, if you're not trying to grow together, you're growing apart. Point blank. You're growing apart. And then here we have it. So how does that make you feel? When you're growing apart, you're working hard, trying to keep it together, but you start steady growing apart. That's gonna it's gonna drain your energy. You're gonna be tired all the time, frustrated. Hey, that's your spirit trying to tell you your energy is being poured into someone who's not investing into you. They are not investing back into you. And that is exhausted. It's very all your energy is gone. All your energy is gone. So if you've ever felt that way, and I know you all have, but anyone that comes on in the replay, if you've ever felt this way, type yes in the comments and let us know, because you are not alone, okay? And y'all can type it too. Type yes in the comments, because you are not alone. Yeah, it can make you feel anxious, right? Because you're always on edge, walking on eggshells. You can never get truly comfortable, because you're gonna know, okay, can I finally relax now? Can I finally, have a little peace right now? And you just don't know, because it's like they're like a ticking time bomb sometimes, or their behaviors is like a ticking time bomb, because you don't know when they're gonna do right, or how long they're gonna do right. They can do right for a minute and then they stop. It's like, right, it's like how you did right for here for months, and then boom, all of a sudden Dr. Jekyll must have hired whichever one of them. But like, how they where they do that at? Like for real, like where they do that at? I'm serious. Like I don't get it. Excuse me, y'all. But yeah, I don't get it. Like how they can switch up like that. I ain't. But like I said, narcissists are they're cold, they're calculating, they're malicious. They know exactly what they're doing. They will to get what they want, whether it's food, shelter, clothing, sex, whatever, attention, whatever it is that they feel that they need. They'll do whatever they need to do to get that. It's like it's more transactional with them. Like the more interaction with the person, the more time being spent, the more information being shared. Personally, you're building in your mind, you're building a relationship, but in their mind, it's purely transactional. There's like this their means to an end. They have a goal in mind, right? Exactly, they have a goal in mind. Okay, boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna do this. They see their target, and really, they see their target. Okay, boom. They gonna watch you, and some of them it don't take them long to watch you. It's like I don't know. It's like they train. I don't know who trained them. It's like they're trained to watch for certain things, to listen for certain things, like keywords, almost like the computer, like the AI stuff. Like it's like the keywords, the key gestures, key just certain things that they look for, right? And they look for certain things to know, okay, hey, okay, this is what I gotta do to get this. And right. And yeah, you said they use their words to hurt you. Girl, cut like a knife. Them words will cut you like a knife. And they know exactly what to say to get you to where you feel down low as you can feel. They know exactly what to say. They know exactly what to say. And I'm like, really? You go that low? Like, come on, like where, you have no compassion at all? And I can say that from both of them relationships. Like they can know they know how them words. Like I'm a writer, I'm a poet or author, but they know just the right words to make you just feel like you the worst thing in the world. Like you on the bottom of somebody's shoe. And they fine. Or right, exactly. Love should not hurt. Love should not hurt at all. Love is supposed to make you feel good, kind. Yes, there's correction in love, but love is not supposed to harm you. Love is not supposed to harm you mentally or physically or emotionally, financially. I can go on and on. Love is not supposed to hurt you that way. That's not how God designed it. Whether you're dating towards marriage, which is what of course it should be, or if you're already in your marriage, love should not hurt you. Love should not be hurt. It should not intentionally hurt you. Yet some things are gonna hurt, but it should not intentionally hurt you. And when it's intentional, that's not love. That is not love at all. That is not love. And then that's just gotta remind you. You gotta remind yourself that that person is not the assignment. Right? Exactly. It should not harm you. And you gotta remind yourself that they're not the assignment. Says he's not your assignment, bro. She's not your assignment. Because I know it goes both ways, both sides of the totem. But he is not your assignment. Your assignment is to protect your peace. You focus on your purpose, and you grow into that woman that God created you to be. That's what your focus is supposed to be. That's what your purpose is. Not to chase someone who's not moving towards their own growth. Somebody, like I said in the beginning, if you're not growing together, then you're growing apart. Right. Exactly. It should be both ways. Right. If you're not growing together, you're growing apart. Point blank. It's no other way to say it. No other way to say it. You're growing apart. But I want to give you all a few scriptures that I have been reading as I was thinking about this topic. Proverbs 4:23. It says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. And I'll read it again. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything that you do flows from it. Now, with this, protect your heart. Protect your heart. Don't give your heart to everybody. And I'm a very nurturing, caring person. Like, I get some people say, hey, Zaki, oh, you good. I'm glad you got the book. I'm glad you got it. So yeah, you can see. I don't know how far you read yet. But yes, like guard your heart, protect it at all costs. Thanks for putting the scripture in there, Tanya. But grab your heart. Protect your heart and guard it with everything in you. Hey, Kim, how you doing? I'm from Submit You know from your wars. But yes, guard your heart, protect your peace, protect your peace. Now, these narcissistic relationships, abusive relationships. I won't say that everyone's a narcissist. I'm not a medical doctor. Little disclaimer. But they will drain you. They will drain you, and it's like I said, they're calculating. They know exactly. They find their target. They aim in. They watch you till they can, and then they groom you. They dot. They got it all lined out. They got it all lined out. They really do. Because I know a lot of y'all know me personally on here. Some of you don't. But when I got in this last relationship, it literally blew my mind. I thought it was a breath of fresh air. After the divorce, I had been dating and everything. And then I met this gentleman, okay, because I'm like, okay, kind of tired of just dating, and it might have been a little rush, but, he was all, I want to, I'm looking for a relationship too after, after the next few conversations or whatever. But Oh, so I'm like, okay, you're Deborah, this is what you've been looking for, somebody who, wants the same thing you want. Yeah. But it's like the little things, they listen, they ask questions, but they don't. I talked and asked questions, but I didn't ask as many questions as I should have asked. And so I do take that, that blame for that. But yeah, they pay attention, like they in school, like they studying something. And y'all, hold on just a second. Some grandkids. Close the door. Granny's working right now, okay? You can Yeah, grandbaby's all right. Grandson is all right. I say, he my baby, but he growing up. but yeah. So like I was saying, like they will ask right on predators. Thank you, girl. On predators, yes, they are. They are. They really are, and they literally watch you and figure out, what makes you tick. They do. They figure out you, and that's their plan is to figure out what makes you tick and watch everything that you do, so that they can get what they want. And yeah, I literally watched this man do this in Greenville. Whatever his other needs that he had, he found a way to get them. If I wasn't getting them, and I'm talking about food, whatever, he found a way to get it. And I'm like, I ain't never been in his life before. Ain't never been in his life before. Like I said, you read the book. I don't know if you read the book yet all the time, My Perfect Options, but yeah. And I'm redoing a revision of it too. I'm just taking my time with it. Because I rushed through it when I was writing it. Because I was still processing. Like I started writing part of the ends of it before I actually even left the physical home and moved back home here. But yeah, so I was like, after having a few people read it and everything, and reading of myself, a lot of things some things that I left out that do need to be in there. I guess I don't say to change the story, but to get more in depth, to really help the person who needs the story, like, yeah, right. So I'm still, because I'm working on that, but I'm not gonna rush through that either, because it's a process. Because writing, I'm not gonna get too much far off topic, but writing to me is therapeutic. That's how I heal. So there's even in therapy, and I talk about therapy a lot. But even in therapy, there's different techniques where you write, like trauma therapy specifically, when people dealing with PTSD, you write about the trauma. And by writing about it, in a sense, yeah, you're reliving it, and you're writing about it, you're actually confronting the issue as well. You're confronting the situation that you went through in order to process and heal through it. And that's what I do with my writing. I could have just wrote anything else and wrote some fake stories. I could have just kept hiding behind my poetry. But God said, no, you gotta write it. And that's what I did. So I wrote my story. But yeah, and also because it was so, to me, it was so unbelievable. Like I was in it, but like, wow, this really happened. And writing it down, writing the story, actually, it's like, yeah, this really happened. This really happened. But I can actually say that I actually have read through the book, excuse me, after writing it. At first, it took me a minute to, read it. You're welcome. You're welcome. I appreciate you for even reading it. But like, yeah, and so, like I said, I was able to finally like read. And I think because I wrote it I came back home in 2022. I published the book in November 2022. I came back home. December 2023. I had the book signing when the book was published. It was that basically a year later. And like I said, all that year I rushed through writing it. But I didn't really like read it. Like I was writing it, but I wouldn't like actually, I didn't sit down and read my whole story. Well, I want to say maybe probably last year sometime. Yeah, literally. No. Yeah, because it's 25 now. Sometime maybe late last year or early this year, honestly, to be honest. I sat down with them like, okay, I'm going to sit down and read my whole book and, read it for myself. And I honestly had, at first I had to read it in excerpts, in little steps. those stages. I had to process it because yeah, I'm not reading somebody else's book. I'm reading mine. And I'm reading my life story, and this stuff actually happened to me. I was a part of this stuff. And so it helped me, like I said, to confront it and to know that I'm not in it anymore. It helps me to see the things that, I could have done differently. Helps me to learn from the things that did happen in the book, that happened in my life, not just the book. But so, yeah, it's a lot with writing. And like I said, so writing, like I said, is therapeutic for me. But yeah, and when you go through these relationships with someone who's not your assignment, things like that can happen. You can go through all kind of trials in your life, and sometimes I feel like it's an attack of the enemy, really, because I literally had gone through a 23-year marriage, and yeah, we got together when we were young. Met him at 14, got married. I was 20. He was a few years older than me, and we got divorced in our 40s. But even after that, and then a couple of years later after the divorce, I got into this relationship, and it's like, in a sense, it was worse than the 23-year marriage. The things that happened in there. But I know it was some things that I needed to learn, I needed to change in my life in order to grow from the situation, in order to grow to what the woman that God wants me to be, and to do the things that He wants me to do. I had to grow. So I see it in a sense as Him building my muscle. And I used to say, Lord, you could have did anything else but that. I could have went through anything else, but God only knows. He knows what we can handle and what we can't handle. And so, here I am now living to tell the story. So I'm thankful for that. But yeah, and so back to, like I said, still sticking to the story or sticking to the message tonight. But I want to ask you all this. So how does this make you feel? Does it make you feel tired, drained, or that your spirit is telling you something when someone is, done something to you? He says, worse for those who love hard, right? Which is why we must trust God first and for right. Exactly. We must trust Him first and foremost, and take our time and just learn discernment. And yes, God can send you someone. Some people do, meet love at first sight and live happily ever after, but that is rare. That is a rarity. That is not the common thing. So you have to, be cautious, put your brakes on, be patient. If it's yours, then it's going to be yours, regardless whether it takes a month, a few years, or however. If it's yours, it's going to be yours. If you all were destined to be together, if God brought you together, then you're going to be together. Right? It's very rare. It is rare. And so, I'll be honest, I had to get out of that fairy tale. I had to get out of that fairy tale life, fairy tale mindset, because I got married young. I got married at 20 years old. So I honestly didn't know a lot about adult dating, adult life I won't say adult life, but I didn't know a lot about dating as an adult. I dated as a teenager, basically a child, if you really want to just call it what it is. I did not date in my adult life because I was married all my adult life. So I had a lot of learning and growing to do. And boy, and I didn't get no learning curve. I learned. I went through the courses. Maybe I might have took a crash course, but I made it through it, and I thank God that I made it through it. So I'm thankful for that. I am definitely thankful for that. And I do know what my assignment is, and it's not man. It's not someone else out there. That's not my assignment. My assignment is for me to use my story to help other people on their journey, either prevent them from going through similar situations or help them along the way if they find themselves in one. And because sometimes you're in it so deep, you don't even recognize what's really going on. You don't even recognize how deep it is until it's too deep. And then you're like, okay, I'm trying to pull my way out of, I got to get out of this. I got to get out of this. And the longer you're in it, the harder it is to get out of it. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. You can get out of it. So yeah, don't think that you can't get out of it. You can definitely get out of it. And I had to learn that. And I had to learn that, prayer. Prayer helped me so much. Prayer, therapy helped me with both relationships, helped me to get out of it, But we have to take accountability of that too, because we can pray and ask God to help us and get out of it. but we have to actually physically get out of it. We have to physically and verbally get out of the situation, make a decision, make a move. And until, because God can't do everything, He can do everything, but He gives us free will, right? So we have to make those steps in order to better ourselves, to get out of those relationships, and to be right. Prayer and therapy, exactly, that goes hands in hand. I see my therapist at least a couple times a month. I'm being transparent here, and of course I see my God every day. So they go together. But yeah, and literally, like when I was in both of those situations, because even with my marriage, we tried couples counseling. Actually twice. Well, one time he just sent me and realized it wasn't just me. And then during the last several years later, towards when we finally decided to go ahead and part ways, we started couples therapy, and he went to one session, and I continued going because I know what I needed to do for me to help me get through that relationship. And again, like I said, I'm here to tell the story. God brought me through that too. It wasn't the physical abuse, but the emotional and mental is sometimes even worse because it stays stuck up in here. But again, like I said, God will help you to rise above all that and grow and be the woman that He wants you to be. And from there on, He led me to share my story. Like I wrote my first book, the poetry book. Thank you. Yeah, we all need prayer, sis. We do, because it's not easy. And sometimes people feel that's another reason why I started this Hairbed Thoughts, because sometimes people don't want to share, they're embarrassed, they don't want to talk about it, what they're going through with these people, and they won't tell their friends or their family. They feel isolated. And even for the longest in my marriage, like not a lot of people knew what I was even going through. Like, and I tell my mom all the time, like, half the time we lived in your house, how'd you not know? But because I hid it very well. You don't want nobody to know you're going through all this stuff. And right, you're ashamed and embarrassed, but you don't want nobody to know you're going through all that. You want to live this perfect little life, and all that. No. And that's a trick of the enemy too, because everything ain't perfect. Everything is not perfect. And that's why I got the tattoo on my leg, perfectly imperfect. And I don't want y'all to think I'm perfect by a long shot. Because nobody perfect but the man who sits above on the throne. And so, yeah, we got to throw all that aside, and even back to with a rose wrapped in thorns, and sometimes I didn't want to admit it, but there was a little pride in there. I didn't want to run back home, tuck my tail and say, okay, I'm going through this. Can I come back home? I knew I could have came back home the first day if I wanted to. But I'm like, no, I can do this. I'm going to take care of myself by myself if I have to or whatever. I'm going to do it on my own. Right. Exactly. In the name of company. Right. And that's like, and I'm like, right, am I imperfect? Right. Exactly. Exactly. I feel you. So like I said, I got a tattoo on my leg. And y'all, if y'all haven't tried her candle, her melts, go on her website and get them. My perfect, yeah. Put your website in the comments. Because I probably need to be getting me some more soon too. But yeah, in my imperfect options. Yeah, God does not put us on this earth here to be perfect. He did not put us on here on this earth to be perfect at all. I'm telling you, like, none of us, we all fall short of His glory. So I had to put that pride aside, and I'm like, okay, I made my decision. I'm coming home, and I actually could have stayed. I could have got, hey, how you doing, Echo? Thanks for coming on. Thank you so much for coming on, and you're welcome, sis. But yeah, I could have tucked my tail and came on home a little early, but I didn't. I still stayed, tried my best. I'm surprised all my hair didn't come out, because, like, literally, I was losing my mind. Like, all jokes aside, like, I literally was losing my mind. But God helped me through it. He, like I said, God and therapy. I made it through my therapist. We were on virtual because my therapist was the same one I had here. And it was during after COVID, but everything was telehealth then still. So she right on my computer in my room. I still was able to talk to her. I had her on speed dial. Okay. I mean, and when it got so bad, and I thank God for her too, because when it got so bad, like, she even allowed me to, like, literally call her, you know, after office hours, because she knew what I was going through with him. She knew the whole situation. She knew what I was going through with him. And yeah, so it was like, yeah, so don't discount therapy. You find you a good therapist, you stick with that person. You stick with them. Yeah. Don't discount that. You stick with them and you stay with them. But yeah, and so but the lesson in all that I will say is, like I said again, he's not your assignment. And I want to go with scripture, Romans 12:2, before we leave here. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." Again, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. And thanks for putting that in the chat for me, sis. So let that sink in, you guys. And any women that may catch, any men that may catch this too, just amen. They are not your assignment, whether you're dating, you're married, or whichever. They are not your assignment. Yes, the Lord joined you two together in union, but he is still your assignment. The Lord is your assignment, and everything else will fall into place. So don't ever forget that the man is not your assignment. The Lord is. The Lord is your assignment. So I just want to ask you guys to just in the comments, I want you to type let me know if well, I know a lot of you did relate to this, but let me know, you guys, in the chat if you need more reflection or how you feel about this. And I do have a couple of journal prompts for you all as well. I do have my journal prompts for you because I don't want to leave those out because they are important. Because we all need to think about the things in order to process them. And so first, I want to just tell you guys, this is our prompt number 1. You can just jot them down and save them for later, or you can write them in here now. But recognize who or what in my life is not my assignment, and how have I been holding on, hoping things would change. That's prompt number 1. Who or what in my life is not my assignment? How have I been holding on, hoping that things would change? And let me know what y'all got that. And because if you feel led to, put your answer in the chat, feel free to. If not, you can just journal in your, in your personal journal. And then I'll give with prompt number 2. And I know there's some things in my life that I know, like I said, the point being in this live, I know my assignment is to share my story in order to help others to grow on their journey, whether it's through my writing, through getting up here and sharing my story with you all verbally. I know what my assignment is. It's not man. And when the Lord sends the right person, then he'll send the right person, and I'll know with discernment. But recognize who or what in your life is not your assignment. Okay? And here we'll go with prompt number 2. Prompt number 2 is release. What steps can I take to release this person, situation, or habit? Because it can be in either one of those things. And what boundaries do I need to set? What steps can I take to release this person, situation, or habit? And what boundaries do I need to set? What boundaries do you need to set? And I know even for me, over the past, I want to say, month or so, I had to release some things, not relationship wise, but I had to release some things. I was dabbling too many things, and I wasn't tending to the things that God gave me to tend to. So I had to break away from some, and it's not no hard feelings, or it's not not wanting to talk. Hey, Sharice, thanks for coming in. I had to break away from some things so that I could focus on what God, my assignment. I had to focus on my assignment. So I had to, let some things go. And you have to do that sometimes because God says, don't put no man before him, right? And that means no man, no woman, no thing, no person, place, or thing, right? Don't put nothing before him. And when he gives you an assignment, you do the assignment. So you have to put all those other things aside. So I had to learn to do that, and that's part of that people pleasing, which is what I talk about a lot. You can't please everybody, right, Sharice? You can't please everybody, right? You're right. You said that's you too. Exactly. You had to release some things. You had to release some obligations as well. Too many irons in the fire. And I was like, okay, yeah, I got to take a step back because I'm not doing what the Lord told me to do. I'm not doing what he told me to do. Right. So I had to let some things go. And let's see, Echo, you said I was with my ex-boyfriend for 14 months and I ended the relationship almost a year ago. He wanted me to wait on him hand and foot. Right. He was not, I understand. I understand that. I understand, Echo. Like, yeah, they want literally like that. My book of Rose Wrapped in Thorns. I was in that relationship literally 11 months to be exact, just being 100% transparent. All that stuff that happened, I know it's like you read it, Sharice, I think you read it too. All that stuff, it was only 11 actual months. That's why I had to write that book. It was like I was in a movie. Right. Yeah, you gotta let go of those distractions. That's right, Sharice. You gotta let go of those distractions. So yeah, I'm glad you got out of that, Echo. I'm glad you got out of that because no, you don't deserve that. You're worth more than that. You are worth more than that. And yes, we gotta let go of those distractions, right? So you can't do it. You can't do it all the time. But yeah, you can't do it. You gotta let go of those distractions. Right, exactly. But God, like, come on, Lord. I know you got me. Give me strength to get through this. And he will give you strength to get through this. And so let me share this my last prompt before I get off of here. And it's getting good. I hate to even get off here. But redirect. How can I redirect my energy, which I think I kind of spoke on it, but how can I redirect my energy toward God, my purpose, and my peace? And what goals or dreams am I ready to focus on now? Again, how can I redirect my energy toward God, my purpose, and my peace? And what goals or dreams am I ready to focus on now? So take your time and write those down. Feel free. Feel free to write those down so you can work on those on your personal journal and your personal reflection time, because that's what it's all about, is healing. Right? It's all about us, working through the things that we've gone through and healing through that. And when you've been in a long relationship with someone, and it's going to take some time to process that, from the different things that you went through. It's going to take some time for you to get through that. Because hey, man, thanks for coming in. Because if you sit there and, oh, I'm over that, I'm all right, I'm good. No, you lying to yourself. You are lying big time to yourself. And why you going to lie to yourself? Because you are no number hurting yourself. Deal with it. Feel the pain. Feel the hurt. And process it. Whatever you got to do, scream, cry, write it out, artwork, making candles, whatever you do, write your books, whatever you need to do, YouTube content, whatever you need to do to process it, you need to process it. And, I know like it was there's one thing that they tell you to do in therapy is, like write out a statement or write a letter to the person telling them how you feel, especially if you didn't get a chance to, say anything to them. Write it out. Even if you don't give it to them, just write it out. Get it off your chest. Get it out your mind. Because again, that brings me back to the writing. That's why I write. I get it out. I put it all out there, whether, like I say, in poetry, or whether, like I said, when I wrote the memoir, my actual story. You got to write it out and get it out there. You got to get it out in order for you to grow, in order for you to process that. Because, yeah, I'm here to tell you that trauma is something else. It's not going to go nowhere. It's not going to go anywhere at all. But guys, and girls, well, girls, y'all know how we say it in the South, But I want to thank y'all so much for coming on here with me. Got to go ahead and make sure grandkids get to bed. My daughter's working. So, but yeah, you got to process that thing and work through it. Don't let it tear you down. And if you're in a relationship, I love you too. Thank you so much, Sharice. Love you too. If you're in a situation, you're welcome, Kim. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you too. But if you recognize any of those signs, if you understood why holding on hurts and you learned how to release, just take a few minutes to reflect on that. And if you feel led to share, put it, you can share in the comments, or you just put me in the comments. So if you recognize the signs, you've understood why holding on hurts, and you've learned how to release, just put that in the comments. You don't have to put the whole thing. You can put either one of them. But yeah, just thank y'all so much for coming on here. Y'all really, like I said, as I was, the Lord led me to pour into you all. You all pour back into me, and I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. That lets me know that God, I'm following God's lead, right? I'm on the right path, and so that's all I ask, is that I continue to stay on the Lord's path, and He's directed me to do, because He orders our steps, right? So, and I live by that. For I know that He knows the plans that He has for us, plans to prosper us and not to harm us. So I truly do believe that. And I want to thank you guys so much again for coming on with us. And I appreciate everything. And y'all come back with me again next week. We're going to be talking about some more topics of the same nature. I will be sharing, of course, I shared ahead of time, but make sure y'all tune back in. Share out the live. If you need to catch the replay, let me know you're catching this in the replay. And I love y'all guys. Thank y'all so much for coming in. And y'all have a wonderful night.